The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And welcome. It's Friday. I'm Scotty Ray along with Candace as we welcome you and thank you for letting us in your homes this morning.
Yes, hope you're having a good morning.
As the weekend arrives, there's a lot to do this weekend. Hope you'll get out and enjoy a little bit. August. Officially, this is the last weekend that kids can kind of roam around, probably without homework.
Yeah.
There might be some teachers that throw it on you the first day.
Let's hope they didn't. You know, we didn't get homework, I don't think. Well, he is supposed to be working on a little project, but starting it.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, next week the fun begins.
It will be. School buses are rolling throughout the communities. Don't forget this afternoon on your way home, anytime after 2 o'clock, be prepared to, well, encounter school buses. That some roll earlier than others, and we want all the kids to be safe.
Yes.
As we start this morning, we don't have details officially from authorities yet, but we do know that there is a sadness overtaking the community of DeKalb, Mississippi, in Kemper County, as we learn of a murder-suicide that happened last night. We've been in touch with Sheriff James Moore, waiting for official details to come out. We pass along condolences. We send out prayers to all of those that are involved in the situation that occurred in the area last night. Just sadness overtaking everybody. So many people knew these folks, and we'll release more information as it becomes officially available here in just a little bit.
Yeah, very sad.
Another thing, and I'm going to show you the page. I'm not going to show the video because it is a little bit too rough to show on television is the best way I can word this. But if you'll go to our Facebook page, it's Scotty Ray Report is how you look that up, and this is what it'll look like. Look for this story here. Woman attacked by 3 women in Meridian. I urge you to watch that. It shows what happens off the beaten path in Meridian. This was at a restaurant where a woman was attacked by 3 women. Now, it was one of the most serious, there's no other way to word it, than whooping.
Yeah.
One of them did have a pistol in her hand as they all took turns of jumping on her. Now, she done pretty good there for a little while. I have edited the original video to where clothing malfunction became a part, and I tried to edit all that out so that that would not be shown. But it's put up because of what can happen. And as the police run to things that happen in our community, this is what they face. And I put that there for that reason. We certainly hope that the woman is okay. I do not know the details of what happened later. This happened around 7:40 last night on North Frontage Road in Meridian. View it, take a look at it. Just always be on your P's and Q's as you watch and you get out at places. Yes. Most likely, this is guessing, I don't know this, that this was a personal matter of some sort. Probably. I don't think it was random.
Let's hope not. I mean, goodness. But yeah, it sounds like they had an issue between them.
And it was a rough issue because they just wouldn't stop. Yeah. On and on it went. I don't know how long it took police to come back, but we certainly hope that everything has been taken care of. We're getting a note about youth football enterprise happening there. So probably going to be a lot of sports that start getting signed up for. So y'all enjoy yourself and get there. Now, I have to give, as we start talking about things that went on in our community overnight, we have to give a attaboy to the Meridian Police Department. They worked hard last night to stop something. And you know how this is. We talk about people that take your things, and it's upsetting.
Oh, yeah. You work hard for your stuff. You don't want people just randomly stealing your things.
No. Well, right off North Hill Street last night, the Meridian Police Department got a call that there was somebody stealing some products or things, supplies. Supplies is a better word. It would be at a construction site, somebody either building a home or business or whatever the case is. Somebody backed up in a U-Haul and just, took their time loading up everything they wanted and left. Meridian Police Department responded, and they would catch them later. Yeah. Got them a ride downtown, and they did a great job of stopping this. Things cost too much, and we don't need this happening.
Yeah. And if you're a contractor, you don't want your tools stolen. I mean, they cost a whole lot of money. And if you're a home built, or if you're having a home built, I mean, that's a large expense right now. That would be awful.
The comments are starting to come in on Mrs. Brady over here. What's up with the new Mrs. Brady haircut?
Look, this does look like it's not a haircut. It's just my hair growing out, and this is kind of how it does. I look like
Mrs. Brady.
the Brady mama. All I need is this to be real short, like a
I can just call you Florence for the rest of the morning, Cal.
flow.
Miss Henderson over here.
Yeah. But it's just, and this was just it was wanting to do it, so I didn't have time.
I'm just jealous that yours will do that and mine won't.
I look like the flying nun, you know.
Oh
her
yeah,
hair.
yeah. I forgot.
Was it Gidget?
Sally Field was the
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
remember what the character's name was.
I can't remember.
Denise says it's the Shag.
The Shag, yeah. Yeah, it's growing out from whatever I had. I don't even remember. I've had so many hairstyles and colors in the last 2 years, so.
Anybody remember that when I kept going, don't touch your hair? Oh, I got to do it. I'll look great.
Yeah, when I went from blonde to brown, back to blonde, but the we've got to redo the
My question is,
picture that
did
runs across
your
the screen.
husband just grit his teeth and go, "Oh, it's lovely," or did he speak up?
He don't ever say anything against it. He's just like, if I ask him how does this look, he goes, "You're not really me into that." It's kind of like when you say, "Do I look fat in this?"
But
I'm not answering that question.
But most men get in trouble no matter, even if they don't answer, because it's a sign of, well, I think maybe you may look a little large in it.
You might as well just go ahead and answer the question.
There's no way to win, and why men are put in that situation, I'll never know.
Mm-hmm. Or if you cook something, is that good? Just say it's good, even if it's not.
You'll do without if
Because
you don't.
if you say it's good, then you're gonna get it all the time.
Yeah, if you say it's bad, you won't get nothing else. It's a no-win situation.
Yeah.
What was
it
that Kenny
is.
Chesney song, The Good Stuff? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you learn from all of that. We got a happy birthday coming in there to somebody's granddaughter.
Happy 15th birthday to her beautiful granddaughter, Malia Faith Ellis.
Oh,
And
we
that's Roy Ellis.
We also got another one up here. Somebody's celebrating one as well.
Thomas Rogers, happy birthday.
Yeah, big DeKalb citizen there. Hope everything's well there.
We hope y'all have a wonderful birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, let's look around at a few more things that are going on in the community here of what I know about. Let's see. We had somebody. This is a common thing. No one was hurt on this. I just wanted to say this before I even bring it up. That's the good news.
Yeah.
But I did have somebody text me after they had reported it to police that somebody was going up Highway 19 the wrong direction in the wrong lane of travel. Mm-hmm. Police responded. No wreck happened. So
Thank goodness.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could have turned out. And sometimes people just get confused when they come out.
Yeah.
We don't know that it was anything other than that. But thank heavens nobody was hurt. That's the.
Thank goodness.
I
Yeah.
know.
That would be awful.
The moral to that story there. Somebody got their bike run over last night.
Oh,
Rump
goodness.
Row. I don't know if it was maybe stolen property, but somewhere. And let me see what my address was on that. I got it written down here somewhere. Oh, yeah, over by 4th Street, 11th Avenue. If your bicycle was missing in that part of the neighborhood, it might not be in good shape there.
Yeah.
I did have somebody let me know yesterday that over Redbud Village, this is off of North Hill Street, if I remember correctly, guy was walking down through there tearing up mailboxes for no reason. Isn't that becomes something else?
That's somebody that
quickly.
needs a job. If
Well-
you don't have a job, go get one.
Am I not correct? Like, you know how kids used to do the thing, go by with a brick
Right.
bat and hit. That
Right.
becomes a federal offense, doesn't it? Because it's supposedly post office property.
I remember my dad used to used to get so mad because I think that was happening to his mailbox years ago.
Yeah.
So he put it on a steel, concreted in the ground post. It ain't moving.
Yeah. That's just, and used to, I think one of the big things was probably more so in the 50s and 60s was the cherry bombs that would be set off in mailboxes as a joke.
Yeah.
Those days have probably gone by as well.
Yeah, people need to get a hobby or something else.
And
They
don't
got
be,
that much time on their hands to be destroying people's property and mailboxes. Goodness.
and I have seen an increased amount of this in our community is prices, and just expect more of this, of people walking out of restaurants not paying for their meal and slipping in the car and driving off quickly.
Yeah. Sorry.
I have gotten several notes over that over the last 3 to 4 days, especially when the weekend happens, is more busy, and a waitress is busy, comes and they're gone.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if they get them on camera ever. you know.
If it's like some of the blurry ones we get from...
Yeah, it's hard to make them out. Like,
I just really wish they could get better cameras than a lot of people. It's kind of like an attorney when you go to court. It doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. It's all about how good your attorney is if you win or not.
Yeah.
You can be innocent as day is long, and you get an attorney that's not good, ain't gonna turn out well for you.
Yeah.
I use my Southern English "ain't" a lot this morning.
It ain't.
Just be aware of who you hire. We got some more coming up. We're going to tell you about an accident that happened yesterday afternoon. Y'all don't rush off. Let's tell you about this. It's all on the way as we begin your early Friday.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Fresh peaches, $1.99 a pound. Fresh corn, 3-pack, $1.79. Plums, $2.99 each. Coca-Cola products, a 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $11. Assorted pork chops, $1.79 a pound. And certified Angus beef ribeye steaks, family pack, $12.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we glance around. And I want to address this. Candace asked me about this a moment ago. And you can find this on our Facebook page at Scotty Ray Report. If you're watching on television, I urge you to visit several times a day because we upload the absolute latest that goes on in our community and around the nation as it happens each day. We're on it, try to give you the very latest. We get this through reports of the general public of what goes on. This has happened twice, if not more, in the Meridian area, and it is illegal. The intersection of Highway 39 and North Hill Street, there by Hardee's.
Right. The busy intersection.
This is dangerous, number one. But have you encountered anybody asking for money there?
I have not. I haven't. But I did see where there are people standing out there stopping people wanting money.
I was flooded with pictures of this yesterday. And they're claiming to be from a church. And they, when asked, yes, I've gotten permission from the city of Meridian. Well, there's an ordinance that says you can't do that of collecting money at this. They claim to be from a church in Moss Point, Mississippi. Okay, red flag number one. If you're from Moss Point, why are you in Meridian, Mississippi at a red light collecting money?
Right. And like I said, it's a busy intersection. You have to be on your P's and Q's when you're sitting there watching all areas. You know, I mean, you can't be distracted by somebody sitting here talking to you if you're sitting at the red light because, I mean, accidents happen there all the time.
And I don't think their ID matched Moss Point, Mississippi either. Now, I think police went out yesterday as well. But be aware of that if you come up to a red light. And occasionally, you'll see this in the smaller towns to where the firemen and police will be on scene whenever this is done, where they do fundraisers at stop signs. But not in Meridian. They don't do that because it is too dangerous to do this and to allow all this. So be aware if you roll up on this the next time, it's not supposed to be there.
Right. And I mean, I'm kind of leery about just handing out money to a source that I don't really.
I'm scared to give money to you.
Seriously though, I think one time maybe one of the groups in Meridian that was taking up money after maybe one of the natural disasters or something happened, like a hurricane or something, and I gave to that. But I mean, they had shirts on telling what they were, and you knew, random people just taking up money from out of town. I don't know. Just be leery of that.
Connie says they visit that intersection all the time. What that tells us is they're getting a lot of money out of all this.
Yeah.
That
There's
is
no
exactly
telling how much money and what other towns they've gone to,
So it's a scam. Y'all watch this as you're out and about there. We had a bad accident which could have turned. It was bad, but not so bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was a horrible wreck, but could have turned into a huge disaster on Highway 35. Our friends in Raleigh, Mississippi, which is just west of Meridian, a couple counties over, to where coming into Raleigh, 1 mile north of the town, a oversized 18-wheeler sideswipes. I don't know which one was in whose lane, but it hit a gasoline tanker. And we all know how many
goodness.
gallons of gas they hold. And it rips the side of the gas tanker open, and gas goes everywhere.
Oh my goodness, that would have been. I mean, that could have been like really, really tragic.
All it would have took was one spark, and no
Yeah.
one would have been around anymore.
Yeah.
No one was injured. I'm sure it took hours for cleanup to get whenever there's a gasoline spill, you have to call in the emergency management team of that county, and I'm sure they were there hours upon hours. The road was shut down, so there was no way in or out. If you needed a hamburger and you lived a mile south of there, it was just too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm glad that was
Yeah.
not a tragic incident for sure.
and, again, those sparks.
Well, I mean, anything could spark.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I saw where the flaps on one of the trucks. Well, I think it was when we were coming back from the beach. You know, they're kind of metal. Or
Did it have that little silver woman with the bikini on the,
No,
on the
it
mud
did
flap?
not. It didn't have her on there. No.
Well, darn.
But it was dragging the pavement. That can cause a spark. I mean,
Yeah.
anything like that could have happened.
And how many times have you seen a chain from a trailer? Somebody's pulled, the chain fall off and
Yeah.
it's scratching.
Sparking? Yeah.
Hello, Jessica Davis. How are you this morning? Good to see you. I stopped by and visited her the other morning, other afternoon rather.
Let's see. Winnie Bartley, good morning to you. And Bill Reinhardt's watching this morning from DeKalb. LaWanda Grantham, good morning.
I did a thank you a while ago, but I want to do another thank you because there is so many puppy dogs that end up in this situation. Let me show this picture here as we pull this up. This, and I don't know who adopted, but this little fella here had been at the Meridian City Animal Shelter since April. Next week was end of life for him. There's no other way for me to word this.
Yeah.
But he had been there his term and was going to be put to sleep next week because he had not been adopted. And we put that out. And from what I am told, he was the sweetest puppy, happy-go-lucky, and he was adopted at the last minute after we made that post yesterday.
So good.
I
Yes.
cannot thank y'all enough.
He is a pretty dog. It's like a lab mix or maybe I don't know if he's full-blooded lab, but he's a very pretty dog.
But I urge you to visit the animal shelter or the animal rescues in around our area for pups that need help. They're just like you. They want somebody to love them.
Yeah.
That's what arguments and things happen in this world because somebody wants somebody to love them. Happens all the time. We just had to convince Ellie that she couldn't stay in the studio with us a minute ago, and she didn't like that.
Look, this song, what the song, Don't You Want Somebody to Love? You know that, Don't You Want
Yeah, okay, yeah, I do.
That needs to be the theme song for the animal shelter. Yeah.
They are, and most are just so thankful
Yeah.
for you to come. Just pet them on the head.
Yeah.
Go by and visit. It costs $20 is all it costs to adopt a dog, and that helps pay for shots and things of that nature. And that's a minimal. And you can also visit Rocky and Marion at the Lauderdale County one. That place is spick and span if you've never walked in there. Go by and visit that. This is not going to affect Lauderdale County, but I thought, or anywhere, northern Mississippi is where this is, and I'll speak with Odie and see if there's any chance that the Meridian area may get some of this money, but northern Mississippi are going to get money toward tornado shelters in the counties of Lowndes, Clay, Humphreys, Monroe, Sharkey, Warren, and Yazoo. $3,500 towards building a tornado shelter. I don't know what it qualifies, but boy, wouldn't that be nice to get that for our area?
That would be so nice. We've been wanting to get one, and I mean, it's something that you need, really.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in a mobile home or don't have a basement in your home. Or
As I read up on that, they won't give it to renters. You have to own the home that you live in to qualify to get that if you're in those counties watching from one of those areas. But
now I wonder, I've always thought like trailer parks. I mean, would
community one,
like a community shelter, would they qualify? Now I don't mean the individual people, but like the owner of the trailer
Right, I
park.
know what you mean.
Would they qualify to have one or two put on their property?
But
I don't know.
as you bring that up, if y'all, and let's just be honest about all this, we don't see as many trailer parks anymore because
Yeah.
if you remember when they done that refinancing, when the housing market crashed and they made it so hard for people to borrow money,
Yeah.
it's just slowly you don't see as many anymore. Now there's homes in the counties, but there are still a few out there, but not like we once had.
Yeah, that's true.
But that is
But
a great idea.
Yeah, but everybody, could benefit from that. That'd be great.
I don't know if subdivisions do that. You'd have to have a pretty
Right.
big one. But
That would be. I had thought about that many times, on subdivisions. If they had like one big one or a couple of them, and they all went in together. And
Candace thought about that at her house, but nobody lives within 10 miles of where she lives.
You're so silly. Yeah,
Country with a K.
it is, but I like it.
I'm pulling for you there.
Yeah.
I brought this up also, but sometimes it's good to have a happy ending on this. It was a bad thing that went on, but in the end, it was good. This was in Gulfport, Mississippi, part of our state. A lady had her dog, and I don't know if you remember Jack, my dog that God rest his soul was killed by another dog in the neighborhood. Bless it. Oh, I love that dog. He was good. But he thought he was a big dog, went and barked at a bigger dog, and it didn't turn out well for him. But he had one of those cones put on his neck.
We've had to do that to our dog.
He hated it.
Yeah, they're awful.
I forget what Tyson done.
They have like a blow up inner tube thing you can put around their neck now. That's not as
Not as bad.
confining as.
But it was a lady in Gulfport who had went and picked up her dog. And she had left the vet, and she got down 4 or 5 miles from the veterinarian, and the dog was doing something on the right side. So she stops her car to get out to walk around the car to do something for the dog because he was in pain. He got hung or something.
Oh.
Well, she's walking around. Somebody jumps in her car and steals it. Takes her dog, runs off with her car.
Oh my goodness, that would be awful.
They found her car about 2 hours later, but did not find her dog. It would take 2 to 3 days later, and somebody found the poor pup. He'd wandered up to a house, couldn't move around with the cone, starving, hungry, and they got reunited. So it was a good ending to a feel-good story.
Yes.
And I know some of you that watched this at 6:30, I brought that up. But a good story is a good story, and more people need to know about it.
Yes.
So I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got, as we look at some national news, Kenny Chesney. Have you seen all of this of what happened in Colorado?
No, I have not.
Kenny had a concert. The concert was ending as people go out. And apparently in this auditorium, they had escalators. And it was a woman sitting on the escalator.
Oh, I did.
She would fall 40 feet to her death.
I did see that, and
And
we were wondering if maybe there was any alcohol involved, or
they still haven't.
Yeah, you don't really know.
But Kenny
Why
says
would
he's
you be
just
sitting on the. That's awful.
He's distraught over the situation. He sent out a condolences to the family yesterday of it. He said, you come to my concerts, and he said, what you come for is more or less an escape from life at the moment. It's a feel-good time. It's what music is. And he said, this really turned out bad, and tragedy struck. Horrible there.
That's awful.
So keep that family. We don't know them. It doesn't matter if we know them or
You
not.
never know what people are going to do, though.
No, you don't.
Can't have your hand on everybody all the time. Goodness, just make good choices, I guess, is the best thing to say.
Remember Dick Cheney?
I do.
Yeah, he
I know
put
his,
out a-
I know his daughter. You know.
Yeah, he put out a video that really criticized Trump, accused him of being an awful man, and he's not in charge of the GOP and all this good stuff. Whoops! Wait a minute. Trump has tracked 8 out of 10 so far of elections of people that he's endorsed. The latest that we find out is going to Arizona. It was a TV reporter that decided, well, I should run because I don't agree with the way things are going in Arizona for governor. Trump endorsed her, and guess what? She won the GOP nomination. It was announced yesterday after all the final counting is going.
Kari Lake is
Yeah.
her name. You can look her up.
And on the other side, the other lady that was running, who was a politician, was endorsed by Mike Pence and tons of other people in the GOP. They lost. And what it does is it sends a signal to the rest of the GOP of who is in charge of GOP and who the American Republicans are voting for. No matter how many times they get on TV and they run him down and they carry on the as many times as they can get bad things in the news,
Right.
it still has not turned people away from his style of thinking.
Yeah.
That might be of having gas at $1.60 a gallon, or food on the table and it not costing you a whole lot. But that's the headlines, and that sends a strong statement to those who think they can take him down. He has not announced that he's going to run, and he may not. He truly may not.
He
We
might
don't
not.
know.
He might not. Did DeSantis ever give an announcement that he was talking
Yes, he
about?
did.
Okay, what
he
was...
has removed, and I got the story here. Let me find it. He took a step and made them all mad yesterday. Here it is right here. A Democrat Florida prosecutor he has removed from his job for ignoring the law and refusing to prosecute cases violating the abortion ban. And that's why they were saying that it was fixing to send the left into a distraught. He got rid of the guy that would not prosecute removed him from office. So y'all be ready for all types of talk.
Well, I remember us announcing that he wasn't going to prosecute. Was that the one
Yeah,
that we
that's
a while
him.
back? Yeah, yeah.
He
Because I
go-
wondered when you said that he had said that. I thought, how can you do that? How can you not abide by what?
But we see that all over. You know, if we would just, as a nation, just endorse the laws that we already have, America would be a better place than it is now.
When you become a lawyer, do you take an oath
Of some
of
sort.
some sort that you will defend and
I promise to
protect?
overcharge my clients by 9 hours and drag this out as long as we can. And I promise to call the other attorney and talk with them, see if we can make this longer. I don't know what they sign, but there is some form of.
Yeah.
I'm not much of an attorney. Never have me as your attorney.
Don't worry.
And trust me on this. Don't trust yourself to be your own attorney, even if you're right.
Some people think that they can do that, but I promise you're probably going to go up in there and just get waylaid by.
Yeah, there's terms that we don't know that are
Yeah.
lawyer terms, and you're only as good as your attorney in a court of law. I hate to say that. The truth doesn't matter. It's who is representing you.
Yeah.
That is fact. That happens in courtrooms every day. I witnessed it not long ago, someone defending themselves, and I thought, oof, that's bad.
Maureen Files says that gasoline in England is $8.60 a gallon.
That hurts my heart, and it don't need to hurt.
Yeah, that hurts mine too. I hope it don't come this way
Folks,
that much. Lord.
and we all know how this stuff, all this builds up and builds up, and then something bad comes out of it.
Yeah.
We've seen housing markets crash before. Y'all remember that back in the day. And then all those thieves we had on Wall Street that took everybody, and it was just, people lost savings over that.
How do you even, $8.60 a gallon. I mean,
How do you get to work?
Go to work. Diesel, would probably mean more than that, than regular gas.
Yeah.
So, like, buses travel on diesel,
Jerome Lee says politicians take oaths also, and you're absolutely right on that. And what do? One of the best examples, and I hate to get off on a tangent, but I remember a few weeks ago, I was doing something in my studio, and I got hungry. So I went back to the house, and I walked through the living room, and Angie had on Little House on the Prairie. And it was the episode where Charles is the representative from the farmers in his neighborhood, and he goes to Chicago to represent them. And he finds out that all of them are crooked, that it's just a game. If you vote this way, I'll give you this much money. And Charles balked at it, and he wouldn't follow it. And I'd like to tell you that the movie Mr. Smith works out in the end, but it usually doesn't. The crooked politicians win, and it's paybacks and side payments and
double standards.
Yeah, this starts on a local level. I had somebody the other day tell me that when they first started their business, that they were trying to get bids, and they quickly found out that in order to get the bid, they had to do favors under the table. And he goes, "I've never gotten their business." There's not many that would do that.
Yeah.
It's not.
I would think that would come back to bite you one day,
You may not get it on this earth.
Yeah.
I've learned that also. Sometimes, as bad as there's folks that deserve their punishment here on earth but get away with it. But one day, I promise y'all, they will face somebody that they will have to answer for. They may not believe in it here, but they
Yeah.
will face the piper, so to speak.
I had a discussion last night with my son at bedtime. We were talking about
Birds and the bees. What was it?
No, we were talking about.
Boy, that's a tough conversation.
Well, we were talking about people passing away and stuff like that. And I said, I fall short all the time of doing the right thing here and there.
I've been meaning to talk to you about it.
Everybody makes mistakes, and everybody, But I just told him, I said, we just need to do the best we can do and try to, do what we know would please God. We've all made mistakes. We've all wished we could go back and redo things, but you can be forgiven for stuff.
You can.
But, it's just best. I told him, I said, we just need to try to do the right thing, be good to people, and be ready to go at any time, because you never know.
But see, all of that begins with a thing called a family of teaching things. And America has just gotten to where the families are torn apart and nothing is taught at home. And we can't fix our problem till we admit what our problem is.
Right.
In
Nobody's
anything.
perfect. Nobody's perfect. I have never, said I was perfect. I'm not. I make mistakes all the time.
I love pointing it out, too.
I know you do. You love it. But anyway.
Scotty Ray and Candace, it's already 8:29 this morning. Can y'all believe that? The morning is flying by, so much to do and get by. Let's talk about Chet. I meant to talk about Chet yesterday, but I thought we'd do it today as we talk about what he does out there. And honesty is it. They teach this. All their employees are good folks there, and they do quality work. They're really good at what they do, from a fender bender to, well, head-on collisions that backed into it, or a simple scratch or a T-bone at a red light where you were minding your own business.
Yeah.
They'll put it back to the way it was. Vehicles cost too much to have someone work on it and not do it right. You don't want your car two-toned or your headlight not matching the other headlight. Talk to Chet. They'll put all this together and make it look great for you. You'll find them in the curve there at 9888 Highway 495. Simple. They even do classic cars. That's the paint booth. Visit them today. Let them walk you through this. If you've never used your insurance, it's a hassle. You don't know what to expect. Well, they'll do all of that. Contact your insurance work for you and take care of it. Visit with them today. They'll do all they can for you.
Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers, because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been operating for over 10 years and boasts over 30 vendors with a rotating inventory to fit that something you're looking for. Inventory is constantly updating, so there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located on 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Friday morning, what's up for the weekend? Anything big?
Probably just try to get some things done around the house, when you're busy doing other things like going on vacation and camping, the things at home still, keep going. Grass keeps growing.
They do.
It does. Things need to be cleaned out. I didn't get the spring cleaning thing done. I don't know if all y'all got your spring cleaning done, but that's always a hassle. I mean, to go through things, you got years of stuff that you've collected over the years to try to go through. I mean, kids' clothes, they grow out of them so quick. I still got stuff like 4 toddler, and he's fixing to be 8.
What you gonna do?
in the closet. I'm like, what in the world? But anyway, never a lack of anything to do around our place.
And this year has seemed to be the biggest ant movement I've seen in forever.
Don't get me started on the ants. Yeah, it's awful. I don't even know what their purpose is. What is the purpose of an ant? Except to get on my nerves.
It's put here for you.
That's right. I mean, you leave one tiny crumb and they all come on. Yeah. But anyway.
All right, let's take a minute and go back and look at a few things that happened on this date that made me smile. Maybe will you? Anybody remember watching Andy and that guy that always tried to tell Andy Griffith what to do?
Yes, the mayor. Yes.
He had a birthday today. He was born today. In I didn't know his name. But he also, if you'll look at that, played the voice of Ernie Keebler on all of those cookie commercials on TV.
Really?
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So the next time I watch one, I'll have to remember that.
Yeah. But the episode where Otis puts was it moonshine he put in the water cooler? Did you see that?
Oh, I missed that one. Was it good?
The governor was coming to town, and he was coming into the police station and or the sheriff's department, whatever it is. And anyway, Otis is in jail, and he pours his liquor into the water cooler where they got their cups of water. And first Barney comes in, and I think he gets snookered, so he's laid out. And then the next thing, the governor or the mayor comes in, he gets all drunk. And then the governor comes in, and he has a couple of drinks, and they find him passed out in the back room. It's a funny episode. But
anyway. I missed that one somehow.
It was cute. It was funny. Yeah.
Let's see here. One of my favorite, and those of you who don't know country music, and Lord, I wish you'd take a moment and just listen to a little bit of this. But 1934, this guy was known as The Voice. He had a song when he first hit radio. I'll never forget the first time I heard it. I was on the back seat of a car, AM radio, with Ken Rainey talking about it. And it was Vern Gosdin, and the song was Way Down Deep. And from there, it went. Vern Gosdin became a household name in the world of country music. Set him up, Joe, and all about, the pains of divorces and what people go through. And he became known as The Voice. I can tell by the way you dance, you're going to love me tonight.
That Set 'Em Up Joe and Play Walk in the Floor.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Great
Yeah.
song. 1943, this girl would be born, but she probably would not be a household name if it wasn't for a guy named Chris Christopherson. Because Chris would write a song that she would eventually find, and it would be called Help Me Make It Through the Night. And to hear, after you listen to that song and think of, wow, a dude wrote that, it just really shows the talent of Chris Christopherson of the way he could get a mindset and write a song. Take the ribbon from my hair. Y'all know the song and you know the words. What a great song
Yeah,
it
it was
was.
a good song.
Woo! Y'all all grew up with this, and of course Candace is trying to be her mother today.
What? Why? Why
Well,
you say
Mrs.
that?
Brady over here.
Oh yeah, that mother. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you meant my mother. I was like,
Marcia is celebrating a birthday today. Born in 1956, Maureen McCormick, I believe is how you pronounce her name.
Yes.
Sometimes I miss them. Not exactly perfect. It would be 1957, and it would change American music. He had a gig in a little town. It was, well, big, but on this date, it went national. The rest of the teenagers in America would get to see it for the first time. American Bandstand.
I used to watch American Bandstand.
It's good. And I
And
guess-
Soul Train. Who didn't watch Soul? I watched
yeah.
that all the time.
Yeah.
Soul Train dancers.
But why did that go away? Those shows are no longer. Even the solid gold Saturday night dancers are gone. Well,
I don't know. I used to love watching.
By the
them.
wayside, didn't it? See, 1961. Wow, look at this. Y'all remember Tim Wilson?
Who was he now?
What's his
I know,
name?
I probably-
He was a comedian.
Okay,
He was
yeah.
really good, and he did have a song once called
It kind of looks like
Bobby-
Rodney Carrington.
Bobby, whatever's mama's going to play quarterback this year. It was
Okay.
hilarious about a football player. This Bobby, somebody's mama playing football. Funny. But he passed away in his early 60s.
He kind of looks like Rodney. Isn't it Rodney Carrington that's also a comedian? But
Yeah.
he's got kind of a. bad
1968, and this girl does the American Country Countdown now. She took Kick Brooks' place.
mouth. Okay.
And Girls Lie Too was one of her big hits there. Terry Clark was born on this date, country singer there that you might know. And let me tell you, seeing her on television is nothing to bump into her in person because you have to do this.
She's tall.
She is humongous. I'm not in a bad way. She's just a tall lady with
Yeah.
long legs
Yeah.
that you have to stare up at.
She might whoop you too.
She could. She
Yeah.
could. Jodie Messina could too. She wanted my steak, and I let her have it one night. You gonna eat that? No, you can have it. Here you go.
Look, I saw talking about people, kind of gruff people. You know, Gretchen Wilson. You know how she.
She could whoop you.
Yeah, she probably could. I
I'm a
watched a
redneck
video where
woman.
she was. She was not evicted, but she was asked. She and her husband or boyfriend or whatever were asked to leave a hotel, and she got
All right.
very irate about it. You
I
know,
can
she
see
was
her doing
upset about it.
Some
They claimed that they were like arguing or something, and people were complaining, and she had been rude to people, and I don't know. But anyway, she claimed she didn't do any of that, and that she didn't know why they were asking her to leave, but she was kind of gruff.
next thing you know, you're in the parking lot of a Subway parking lot fighting. Bill says
Yeah.
that Terry does a lot for animal shelters also. That's good.
That's good.
1976, there was a hippie in the United States. It was. He had a couple songs come about, but he would really change his look. He was still hippie-ish looking when this come out and it hit. Who remembers when Lucille was recorded?
I do.
You picked a fine time to leave me. Kenny Rogers recorded on this date back in 76, and it would be the beginning of a career that would take off. Of course, Reuben James was huge for him, and Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town. That was with the
Yes.
first edition. 1983, this would be a string of the many, many number ones they had, but it went number one on this date. Who remembers Lady Down on Love? Alabama.
I just love the older country music, you know.
Actually
Nothing
understand
like
it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Told the
1998,
story.
we'd get, and this really was funny. I don't care who you are, who was it used to say that? I don't care who you are, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1998, this debuted on television in America for the first time. Whose line is it anyway? Those three were absolutely hilarious.
They were. Especially the guy on the left over here. He was always so good.
Yeah.
And he would never really, he would always hold his
Emotion.
expression,
Yeah.
you know, without laughing. So,
It's a lot of wives that can do that too, and just pop, out of nowhere hit you with a pan. Never see it coming.
give you a little tap.
Well, back in 2000, this guy would be on the cover of TV Guide. Who remembers him? Clint Eastwood. 22 years ago. Who believes this?
Time flies.
We were all sitting downtown Meridian talking about Y2K, 10, 9, 8, and expecting our computers to quit. They didn't.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great scam across America because people kept buying all these extra protection things.
Yeah. Who's the guy that did all the predictions? You know, that
Nostradamus?
Yeah, Nostradamus.
I didn't say his name right, did I?
Yeah. Well, almost.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's this old dude.
I kept thinking, you know, the world's going to come to an end.
I got this out of the years, but 1976, this was a funny show. It was big back in the day. Who remembers What's Happening? It premiered on this date back in 76.
I remember that.
Yeah, Raj was the main character's name, and I don't remember the rest of them, but I do remember his. A little walk down memory lane this morning of a few things that happened on this date. Maybe you remember a few of those. Let's see, we got a happy birthday goes out to Angela Dean, celebrating a birthday today.
Well, happy birthday, Angela.
Yeah, I hope it's a big one there for you.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself this weekend. Get some cake and somebody take you out and feed you.
That's right. Somebody needs to take her out and get her a cake, like Scotty Ray said, and give her a nice birthday.
Martin Volunteer Fire Department was called to Candace's last birthday cake. Wildfire.
He is so nice to me, y'all.
They couldn't put it out.
Yeah. Yeah. You're older than me. I don't want to hear it. I'll
Oh,
bring
am I?
next birthday for you, I'm bringing the fire extinguisher.
Scotty Ray and Candace, good morning to y'all. We hope you're having a wonderful day. Lots more to come as we start this day off for you. If you're getting ready to purchase land, make sure you have it surveyed. Contact our friends at the Woodlands Group. Maybe you're selling land, dividing land up. Whatever the case is, the Woodlands Group can help you there. They handle residential and commercial clients. And again, they specialize in property line location, site plans, and a whole lot more. Maybe you have a construction project, and they have the latest equipment to make sure it's done right, including drones. Call Justin Palmer or Brandon Briggs at the Woodlands Group, Surveying Solutions.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Okay, I just want to say a thank you to Ryan Clark there, who remembered what I was trying to stumble around there from Tim Wilson. Ricky Tidwell's mama is going to play football, as he put it. It was hilarious.
Okay.
If you have not ever listened to that, do that. She was a tough old hombre there. Got a few more birthdays that are popping in.
Let's see. Brian Troy says happy birthday. Linda Glass is having a birthday on tomorrow.
Yeah, a big
8/6.
Saturday birthday.
Want to wish her happy birthday. Ann Jenkins, her daughter, wishes her happy birthday.
Well, every day around 7:30, they go down and open up the doors for this place. It's the Farm Supply. You've known it there. They also put Lauderdale County in the name just for kicks. They got a lot of things going on there, from T-shirts to fishing. Got all of this for you there. If you need minnows, they take care of you there. Sod. If you got grass, you got to do some home projects this weekend, and any fertilizer and anything that you may need, including all this patio furniture, even a rug to make your back deck look a little bit better there. Maybe your porch. Your front porch needs a plant. They got that too, along with all these different little pedestals to put them on. Maybe you need just some spice into your yard. They got that for you with T-shirts, overalls, and hats. Make it comfortable for you there. A real place for the working man is what you'll find there, with work boots, any style that you're looking for, from Georgia to Ariat. They got all of those there, including those tennis shoe ones. Your pets will like it as well. Some diet dog food. Maybe your horse needs some food.
Yeah.
Or maybe your cow does.
Yeah.
Sweet feed and more with guns and ammo. You'll find it all down at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in and visit with them. You'll bump into a friend, I'm sure, there. What'd she say? Roy said, my last birthday, I could not have candles on my cake.
They issued a burn ban. Yeah.
But you know, the great thing about that is it is wonderful to keep having these old things called birthdays.
It is.
Even though we sometimes don't want to admit the age, there's some people that take that to the extreme over the birthdays.
I'd gotten my grandfather a cake when he was 75 and put 75 candles because I thought, I am having these candles on his cake.
Yeah.
And I lit them all, and they all melted because they were so close together. It melted each candle.
So you couldn't eat the
It was
cake?
a sheet of wax on the top of the cake. So just know if you ever do that, that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Put them up at least that far apart.
We got a family argument going on, and I didn't realize all of this until I sat down and read all of this, of the turmoil that went on behind the scenes at the Judd household.
I didn't realize this until yesterday.
Naomi and also her sister Ashley has been cut out of the will of $25 million of Mama Judd. She leaves it all to her current husband, who she'd been married to for 33 years. And as they dig deeper into this, it's been trouble from word go. Winona feels that she should have been a part of it because Mama just sang kind of backup. And if it hadn't been for Winona, she'd have never made that money.
Right.
But as you get to diving into this, they would go months and sometimes almost a year without speaking to each other because it was all three of them just couldn't get along. But Winona had huge financial problems. She'd even been to centers for her spending habits, spent tens and thousands of dollars. They say it's a little bit better under control, but her mother didn't put her in the will due to that fact of she was afraid that she would blow through it.
Right.
And she left it all to the husband.
And I wonder about the daughter, Ashley. She's a little different. You know.
She is.
All three of those women are different.
Now, I didn't know this about Naomi. She had been raped twice. Once as a child, and then it would happen to her again as an adult. It even went into talking about how they lived of when they were all children, and it made them, I guess, what drove Winona to spending, they didn't have anything. They didn't have running water in their house as children because it was so tough. And then that's when Naomi went and got her medical license and became a nurse. You know, she went back to school and pulled them up out of that.
Right.
And she'd be working on a patient is how this all went down, who was a music executive, and she mentioned to him that she could sing and gave a cassette, and the rest is history from there.
Okay.
Changed her world.
Yes.
But it was, again, Winona that sang the lead on it, but there's no guarantee it's what your parents want. They're saying that she's going to fight the will.
I don't know that you're going to win that. I mean, if it's...
Because the
that was
will
her
was
wishes,
done
you're supposed to-
2017 when she was of mind, able,
Right.
good
And
mind.
unless they find another will that replaces that or some other kind of documentation that is probably need to be notarized, I don't think they're going to be able to overturn that. But
So originally, and they said that she's going on with that tour. She needed the money is why the Judds were going to do this big final tour again. And she's moving on with it. She'd been playing casinos and not getting the big paydays that the Judds had as a solo artist. She's forging ahead with the concert that Faith Hill is going to help out some other artists to bring in the bigger money.
okay.
So, wow.
Yeah.
So who is the number one, public enemy number one in New York City? As we look at headlines today, this guy, and this is where laws get you to where you have people like Ron DeSantis is getting rid of them, a DA that doesn't enforce the law. This guy's been arrested 101 times. He stole everything New York has and gets out within hours each time. 101 arrests. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
It's due to these lacked laws. He's 53 years old and just keeps doing it time and time again. Will they ever change? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Look, as this morning, I don't know if you had seen that the governor of Texas has now bused
How many?
50 migrants, I think, to New York City.
This morning?
This morning they arrived, like as I was watching news this morning, they arrived, and it was a big thing because he had invited Eric Adams to come to Texas to the border to witness what was going on, and he refused to go, and so he bused him up there.
I think he should.
Yeah.
I mean, they've called in the National Guard because they can't handle it now.
Yeah, and he was complaining about 50 or 100 people being bussed into New York a day, Eric Adams was, when they're getting like 5,000 a day into Texas or 7,000.
correct.
I don't even know. It's a large amount, but crazy.
Sometimes you got to protect what's yours with a wall. Imagine that.
I think it's good to give them a little taste of what other people are having
You're
to go
right.
through, you know?
You're right. Sometimes you have to let your wife taste her own cooking when she thinks it's good. I will give credit over here to Banana Pudding Queen. Done a good job on that.
Yeah, I have to make some more sometime.
We found out a little bit more yesterday of the GOP representative that was killed in the car wreck from Indiana. At first, we thought she was driving. She was a passenger, and one of her aides was driving the car that veered over into the left lane. It was a head-on collision, and all died in the wreck.
Oh, goodness.
That is just tragedy as we look to that.
That's awful.
A few other things that are happening around. They're warning Texans that power could go out as the drought continues throughout Texas there and temperatures keep going up. They're saying expect electricity to start crashing.
Goodness, that would not be good.
Uh-uh.
People without air. Ugh.
CNN, it's in a mess. It just keeps losing money and money. If you remember, they spent like $300 and something million to start a digital thing that flopped immediately. Mm-hmm. People didn't like what they were offering. And now CNN is thinking maybe we need to hire people that report the news instead of have all these opinions that they put out there every night.
Do you remember used to where things were, I mean, news anchors were more neutral, you know, and they reported both sides, and they didn't really ever lean towards one side or the other. They just reported both sides.
He would lean back from the counter and go, and that's the way it was on this day. Walter Cronkite, he was one of those that delivered the news the way it was.
I think to me, you get more respect that way. You know, you're more respected if you honor both sides. I mean, everybody has an opinion.
They do.
They ought to be able to give it. And, I don't know.
The White House declaring monkeypox an outbreak across America as we now have 66 confirmed cases of this disease across America. Remember, we've got 3 in Mississippi, 16 in Alabama, and 300 and something in Texas. That number is growing daily. Mm-hmm. COVID is back up also.
From what I understand, it's not life-threatening, monkeypox.
It's not. I don't know enough about it.
It's not, from what I understand about it, it's not life-threatening. But, you know, I don't know if they have, I guess they have a vaccine for it, don't they? I don't know.
They do, and they were urging Americans to get it. I'm sure that's going to go over real well. If people were protesting against the other one, what are they going to do on this one about taking a vaccine?
Right.
Probably just not going to work there. We'll watch it, though. But and I don't know whether to tell you, go wash your hands. I don't know how this thing, I don't know how it spreads, being honest.
It said from bodily contact of any kind, I guess, sexual contact with another person, or even like clothing that has come in. I mean, that makes you kind of think, so could you go in a store and try on clothing and somebody else that has monkeypox has tried it on? Could you get it that way? I don't know.
As your mama always said, don't be buying used underwear.
I wouldn't do that.
That's just the truth, the hard facts of life. Don't do that, y'all. We're already coming up, 8:52 this morning as we get to rolling here. And we hope your day is going well. We got more on the way with Scotty Ray and Candace as we try to bring a smile to you. Y'all hang in there.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
Welcome back. Let's talk about our friends over at Godwin. They do a lot of things, and they go around making things look better, is why I bring them up. They're Godwin Cleaning Services. If you haven't spoke to Ryan yet, talk to him and let him get you on a schedule of your home or your business to where after that, it's not even a thought. It'll be at the tip-top looking shape. Whether you've got vinyl siding, you've got brick, even brick gets dirty over a period of time. Gets that old green stuff on it. Yeah. You'll see it here on this house. They come in with their soft washing materials to get it clean. Even your roofs. Whether it's the metal or the shingle or, slate roofs, they do that also. Major difference after they leave town and your house looks good again. From your sidewalk, driveway, whatever it is. You even go across windows, and we get back here to these back porches. You've seen this picture before. It just does so much better for you. 253-8262. Give Ryan a call. They can get you all cleaned up. Whatever it is at Godwin Cleaning Services. 253-8262 is that number to do. Already 8:54.
Yes.
Flying by on us. Now, again, we'll have, as the weekend goes through this and today, we'll have details as news breaks. As if it's local, we'll have it for you as fast as we can and as accurate as we can. was looking at this. A father becomes the 8th person to die in a crash that happened that killed his wife and 4 children of somebody that was going the wrong way. The whole family wiped out on that.
So sad. That happens all the time. I remember going up, I guess it was 45 one day, and there was an elderly man going the wrong direction and approaching a hill. That was the scary thing. I was just sitting there. I mean, there's nothing you can do really other than wave somebody down.
Right.
You know? It's awful.
I have to give kudos on this of a good Samaritan that stepped in and done something. This was even in New York. This guy was one of those MMA fighters. I'm not saying that correctly. MMA fighter.
Yeah.
But he witnessed, this is becoming an epidemic nationwide, the homeless. And I stress this is a bigger problem than you think, that rob, steal, and take from people. Attacked. We keep hearing so many times on these subways, the homeless stabbing people. Well, this guy attacked a bunch of people, and the MMA fighter jumped in, held the guy down until police could get there. So a good Samaritan saved some people.
Yeah, he had already hit a 50-year-old man and a 17-year-old boy, the guy had.
So a few headlines from across America as we do this. All right, let's see here. We got a couple of minutes left. We could say a couple more things. We look at what's happening in these large cities, and they're saying that the average person, unless you make $76,000 a year, can no longer afford a home. These larger cities, the prices have rose and rose and rose, and that $76,000 salary is at the bottom end. It's not a normal house.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, just groceries. The other day, going to the grocery store, it just seems like the price has doubled on
It
stuff.
has. And they're saying this, out of the 50 largest cities in America, 35 of those, you've got to be making that to buy the bottom end of a home at the very starting level. Don't be thinking you're going to get a house anywhere else.
Yeah,
Pretty serious there as we look at the economy and the shape that we're in these days.
it's crazy.
Let's see. There was one other thing. I didn't want to go there this morning. That was one of those. Kevin Costner, still making headlines with his story of endorsing Liz Cheney. What do y'all think? Did he make a mistake? A lot of people are not happy with Kevin
That
over there.
surprises me, with the role he plays in the movie. I guess that doesn't always depict somebody's real life beliefs, but still, it's surprising.
It's almost that actors should just leave those thoughts to themselves, because you're going to make somebody mad one way or the other.
Right.
All right, we've come to the end of our time. It's Friday. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back when?
Monday morning at 8 a.m. Y'all stay safe.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: